back to Forza Horizon 5. Today, we're jumping into the brand new FH5 Update 11. It includes 7 brand new cars, some of which are really cool, some of them not so cool. One of them, though, I guarantee you're going to absolutely love. We've also got a brand new Horizon story that actually sounds pretty cool. We've got some new Event Lab stuff and some bug fix stuff. We're gonna talk about everything in today's video, so sit back and relax. This is gonna be a cool one. Side note, I've also got some FH5 mini games coming soon where it's gonna be me versus a bunch of subscribers. So if you wanna be a part of it, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a sponsor for today's monthly update, so take it away, T-shirt Nick. Before we get too far into today's video, we do need to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that's our awesome friends over at Moza. If you've never heard of Moza before, let me tell you a little bit about them quickly. They make this, and this, and this, and so much more. This is the brand new Moza R9 wheelbase. It's made of super high quality aluminum, which is awesome, and the motor inside produces 9 Newton meters of torque, which actually makes it one of the most powerful small form factor wheels out there, while also being one of the cheapest. I've got mine combined with this, the Moza CM Digital Dash. This is a heads-up display that will show you everything you need to know as you're driving around in whatever game you play, pretty much, like F1, Dirt, Assetto Corsa, and so much more. And it's fully customizable with the Moza software. Speaking of customization, you should also check out the Moza GS Formula Wheel and the Moza CS Circular Wheel. Both of these wheels have awesome features that, again, you can customize in the software, and really awesome build quality, like magnetic shifters on the back and quick releases. And then last but not least, you can't forget about the SRP pedals that I set up on my racing rig a little while ago. They offer a ton of customizability, again, like you can actually space them out to give you the perfect feel, and they're made of high-strength steel, so they'll never bend. So if you too want to level up your sim racing game and pick up the same products that I use, click the link in my description and go check out Moza and all of the really awesome stuff that they make. Thanks so much to Moza for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. Without further ado, let's jump into all 7 of these brand new cars and when you can actually unlock them. Starting off with this thing, the 1955 Porsche 550 Spyder. As seems to be the trend for Forza Horizon, this car was in some previous Forza games, most notably Forza Motorsport 1, 3, 4, and 7, and Horizon 3 and 4, and now it's making its return for Horizon 5. Don't get me wrong though, it's actually a really, really cool car. It's got an awesome little 1.5 liter engine with just over 100 horsepower, but it's super lightweight. It only weighs 1,500 pounds, so when you're driving it around, it's gonna feel like a little go-kart on steroids. If you've never heard of this thing though, it's sort of kind of like a Boxster slash a Cayman, before the Boxster and the Cayman were actually a thing. Long story short, really fun car. There's how you can unlock. Moving away from that thing, we jump over to the 1980s and this, the 1985 VK Commodore Group A car that you can unlock in the autumn, again, by getting 20 points. This thing's also been in some previous Forza games, Forza Motorsport 7, Horizon 3, and Horizon 4, and it's again making its return for Horizon 5. What makes the Commodore really interesting, though, is back in Forza Horizon 4, with the right upgrades, it was an absolute rocket ship. It's a big old Australian muscle car. What's really better than that? I mean, other than an Australian ute, but we'll gloss over that. One thing I'm really interested to see if this thing is still gonna be super fast when it makes its return in Forza Horizon 5. Specifically, I wanna see if this thing's gonna have some new engine swaps. Could we swap in 1,700 horsepower engine into this thing? Maybe. Anyways, the week after that, by getting 20 points in the winter season, jumping over to the 1990s, you can unlock this, the Subaru Legacy RS. And with this car, I can start a new segment on the AR12 YouTube channel called Guess What Forza Game This Was In, because they're genuinely all copy-pasted. If you guessed Forza Motorsport 4, 6, 7, Horizon 2, 3, and 4, You'd be correct. Even though I'm like one of the biggest Subaru simps out there, it's kind of annoying to see more cars copy-pasted over from previous Forza games. Back in the 1990s, this thing was actually first designed as a Group A rally car, so again, it's going to be really fun to drive. I wonder if it's going to have any new customization when it makes its return for Horizon 5, but like I said, is anybody else getting disappointed with all of the copy-pasting? If you are, well, I have good news for you because this next car isn't. This is a 2020 XPEN P7. And if you've never heard of that, welcome to the club. Anyways, you can unlock this thing in the spring by getting 20 points, so it should be pretty easy. This thing is brand new to Forza. It has never been in a Forza game before. Because I had never heard of this thing, I did a little bit of research. It is a Chinese fastback sedan. It's kind of like a Chinese Tesla, sort of kind. It's got 1 gear, all-wheel drive, and 420 horsepower. Elon would love it. Anyways, you know how nowadays pretty much all the electric cars that come out have that one useless feature that's there just to make headlines and get free advertising? Cough, cough, Tesla yoke steering wheel. Anyways, the XPEN P7 also has a very interesting party feature. You can actually talk to your car. If you say, car, open the windows, it will genuinely open the windows as you're just driving along. I would argue that's actually more useful than a yoke steering wheel. Honestly though, I have no idea if this thing's gonna be any good to drive or if it's gonna have any customization. We will find out. Subscribe if you want to see me check out this car. That's not all though. There's actually 3 more cars that you can unlock throughout the month, like this, the 2010 BMW M3 GTS that you can unlock again in the spring, the same week as that XPEN, by getting 40 points in the festival playlist. Again, this thing was copy-pasted from some previous Forza games, specifically Horizon 1 and Horizon 4, and now it's making its return for Horizon 5. I would argue though, this thing's actually really cool. This thing has always been a fan favorite. It was huge when it came out in Horizon 4, and I'm sure people are gonna love it in Horizon 5. It comes in this really cool orange color with like this blacked out, I think it's actually a carbon fiber rear wing. Really awesome car, always been a fan favorite. I'm excited to see this back, even though it's copy-paste. Speaking of BMWs, I promised you there was a car that you were gonna absolutely love, and that's this. This is the 2021 BMW M4 competition, and it's just still just as ugly as everyone thought. Yep. It might be one of the ugliest BMW M cars ever made, but it is probably going to be one of the best driving M cars ever made. It's got an awesome straight 6 engine, twin turbo. It can do 180 miles an hour and produces 500 horsepower out of that little engine. It's crazy. You can unlock this thing by getting 80 points throughout the entire festival playlist month. If you've been living under a rock, the new BMW M4, despite the looks, has been one of the most requested cars since FH5 has come out, so I am super happy to see it coming to the game. I cannot wait to jump into it and check out the customization. One thing we actually saw recently with all of the Audi RS cars was some really good customization, so hopefully I will keep fingers crossed that the M4 will also have some unique customization. We'll see. Subscribe if you want to see that. Last but not least though, for new cars coming to FH5, we have this, the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR. Now here's what's actually really interesting about this car. The developers actually made a big deal about it recently selling at auction in real life for $140 million, which, well, it's wrong. The developers are correct when they say a Mercedes 300 SLR sold at auction for $140 million. But it wasn't this one. It was this one. This is the 300 SLR that sold, the Uhlenhaut Coupe. And no, we don't actually have this one in Forza Horizon 5. We have like the regular version. For the regular 300 SLR, they made 9 chassis and they raced at Le Mans. Once they were done with that, Mercedes took 2 of those chassis and turned them into the Uhlenhaut Coupe. One of those cars went to Mercedes themselves, and it still lives in their museum out in Germany. and the other one was given to the designer of the car, Mr. Uhlenhaut himself. Fast forward about 70 years, and that same car that went to the designer, that is the car that sold for $143 million. Unfortunately, that car, the Uhlenhaut Coupe, is not coming to Forza Horizon 5, which is super disappointing. We've got the other version, and yes, it's also been in previous Forza games. Yep. Moving on. Anyways, if you want to get the 300 SLR in Forza Horizon 5, you can unlock it by getting 160 points throughout the entire month, or you could buy it from the auto show for 140 million credits, which is just insane. Anyways, so those are all 7 new cars coming to FH5 this month. That's not all, though. We've also got a brand new Horizon story. This is Rami's racing history. The developers didn't tell us too much about the Horizon story, other than it follows the Mexican car heritage and all of its history as Rami takes you on like a story, an 8-part story. As always with Horizon stories, there's gonna be prizes associated with them and so on. I really hope this is a good story. We definitely need one for Horizon 5. After that, we can jump over to the event lab where, yes, we've got some new props coming into the game. Most notably, some of the Extreme E billboards and like the battery cases. You'll be able to place those in the game now, which I guess is kind of cool. And last but not least, we've also got some bug fixes. Here are the 3 most important ones. When you load into the game, you will no longer load into one of the starter cars. You will load into the car that you were previously in. They will fix some accolades that didn't previously unlock, so you'll now be able to get all of your completion stuff on the Hot Wheels expansion. And finally, the devs will actually auto-complete for you the treasure hunt in Series 9. So if you're still waiting for that achievement to 100% a month, you will get that retroactively if you did it for Series 9. So there you go. And that's it for the FH5 Update 11. Like I said, some good, some not so good. I'm super excited to jump into that BMW M4. Like I said, subscribe if you want to see that. I'm so excited for it. I'll see you guys soon with some more FH5 gameplay. I'll see you then. Bye!